say how unfortunate it is that the live stream cannot hear the intensity of your oh yeahs.
Oh, they're gonna.
Oh, they're gonna.
Yeah.
You have to go back.
Sammy, we are just beginning this.
We are just beginning.
I've been working on my phone sex voice. You want me to?
I just turned you off. I know, I'm sorry. I will stop penetrating your earlobes.
Here.
It's okay. It's what people are coming for.
As Tenacious D called them, your ear pussies.
Yes, I've heard that song.
Yeah.
Actually. So I just want to start by saying, what is it?
I don't know.
You kept saying all about the hashtags.
Yeah.
And the
Algorithms.
And the algorithm.
Yeah.
I agree, but it's like
it's keywords, really.
It categorizes what this is about, but it doesn't make people watch it. It has to be interesting. It has to be capturing the it's the audience. It's not.
No.
Like this magical thing that selects and gets it to be viewed.
No. I get that 100%. But I think also you don't want to underestimate how people search for things. You know what I mean? Like people in my experience, like people aren't searching for anything like this as podcast. You know what I mean? They're searching specific titles. Like if you wanted to look up and see if you put in Kanye West in a search, you're going to get Kanye West songs, Kanye West music videos. But if you're looking for like opinions or stuff like that, like you got to kind of have a more condensed title. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And I think that's why like reaction videos are so big on YouTube. I watch them. Yeah, dude, I love watching people watch Tool for the first time. Like
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh my goodness, dude. You should it's people build channels off of it. Like they're 50, 60,000 subscribers just because because the Tool fans are obsessive. I mean, I'm one of them. Like
to begin with, they're obsessive.
Yeah, I mean they are. I mean, it's probably how Rush fans are. Like I'm not saying anything bad about it, but like Rush fans are like Rush or nothing.
Rush or die.
Like get it, Lazy Best. Rest in peace, Neil. Rest in peace, Neil Peart, the best drummer in the world. It's just like I don't disagree with them, but I mean, like I think for me, like I like Rush, but I like Coheed and Cambria a lot more, and they're cut straight from the cloth of Rush, man.
I guess you're right. They do have a lot of influence. They have a lot of experimentals.
Yeah. I mean that's okay.
So thanks for joining us. Those on YouTube, this is awesome. I'm so glad that you came.
I am too, man. We've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah. And, before when I'm conceptualizing this idea, I'm watching adult podcasts for kids and just going out of my mind because that I know that's what I want to do. So it's always been.
We had a lot of fun doing that, man. And there are so many circumstances surrounding why we stopped doing it. I think it just came. We tried to branch out and do too much instead of keeping it simple.
Totally understand.
And I think it was all of our faults, But
not necessarily.
It was a lot of work too. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of work putting this stuff together, dude.
Yeah,
so you're a one man army, bro.
Setting up and tearing down each time.
Yeah, that was. I mean, once when Perry and I moved in together, we were able to set up a studio for the first time. The original studio was in his old apartment, and then when I moved into my apartment in Scottsdale, we moved it down to there. And I gave my cousin a key to my apartment, and he would come down even when I was sleeping. I'd wake up and he'd already be down 10 o'clock in the morning setting up the studio.
Hell yeah,
And then when it was done, we'd rip it down and it'd be my living room again. No, it was awful. I mean, literally,
I had no idea all that was going on. That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the middle section where you had a group of us sitting at a table and then one person on a couch and we were setting up and we tried different things different times, but I'm super excited to be doing this because this is.
And I can't recall.
This is pretty great.
If you said or not whether there'd be another game marathon.
We've been talking about it, dude. We it's such a good time, and it's always so fun, and it's a love of labor too, dude, because again, setting that up for a 48-hour span, like having to stay awake or having people switch on and off,
it's tough.
it's a lot. It's definitely a big undertaking. We were trying to Helltown, I think, for those who don't know, Helltown's a brewery here, or a local brewery around here that very frequent too. They were going to allow us to do it there. I don't know if we were going to be able to do it like all night, if they were going to allow us to stay there.
Oh, have the marathon?
Yeah, they were going to let us do the marathon there. Because they have an upstairs loft that you can rent out. We were just going to stay up there. Yeah, we could set up shop up there.
Interesting.
Yeah, so, but again, these are just, it's so hard to get everybody together, especially since COVID. Like Mike, he very much doesn't, he's adamant about not really doing too much right now, which I totally respect. My cousin Scott, same way. And then like Trip and I, we meet up all the time, and anybody else, Bahana, I haven't seen in a hot minute.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Chris Bahana. Is that me?
No, that's me.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Professionalism.
Yeah, that's it's vibrating. Probably shouldn't have put it there, but
yeah.
But no, like honestly, doing it. I'm super glad I'm here to do this. If I woke up tomorrow green and gigantic, I wouldn't be as jolly as I would then. You know what I mean? I was trying to make a Jolly Green Giant joke. I think I muffed it, bro.
You did.
I muffed it. Oh, that was pitiful. I was trying to do the delivery like Clark Griswold whenever he's like, if I woke up tomorrow with my head sewn on the carpet, I wouldn't be any more surprised than I am right now.
Oh, that's a classic. Yeah.
So yeah,
I think I bought that movie a few times,
bro. It's it's crucial. It's a crucial Christmas movie. So. But, I'm sweating profusely. I'm so sorry.
The lights. It's the camera. It's the lights. It's too much for my man. There's a lot of hot air, and, I'll take the blame here. I did leave the heater on.
Preview of certain parts of this episode. I'm under so much scrutiny like Kanye, bro. So sorry.
Dude.
I can't wait to dive into that, man. I talked to a friend of mine, Susan, Susan Foster. She works at Helltown and UPS. Whenever for the first, I think 2 episodes were out, we talked a little bit about it, and then that's whenever we talked about doing this.
They release it in chunks?
Weekly, yeah. I think it was I think they released it. I think it was over a 3-week span. They put out episodes. Yeah,
that's fucking wild.
Yeah, I think Netflix doesn't do that very often, too, man. They're usually all
that's
in.
Probably
It's
part
usually
of his vision. Because he's so specific.
I wonder how much he actually had to do with that,
He had to have every part of it, man.
I mean, really, though? Because all I saw, like, when you go to the credits, dude, all it said is music supervision by Ye. Like, that was it. I didn't see his name attached to any other parts of the credits, It was all Coodie Coodie. Sorry, Coodie. I'm a grown-ass man named Coodie, bro.
Well, the fact is, I know I cried at least 2 times in the first part.
Yeah,
definitely in the second.
Yeah, it's super emotional. Like, yeah,
I had no idea that it went that.
It's
his transformation from early producer to where he is now is such a strange and long run.
See, like I knew a lot about that because I was like. I don't know if we should. Do you want to get into this now, or do you want to get?
Yeah, let's hit it. It's
okay.
Natural, yeah.
So like I remember because I remember seeing that whatever the artist thing was, the thing that he fought for MTV. The interview that he did with them
this year on something.
Yeah, like you hear it first or whatever it was.
Yes,
yeah,
that was it.
And but for me, like I that whole era of like rap for me was just kind of, I was always a big Wu-Tang fan, so like that was always my, like I veered to there. And then when I actually did listen to like hip hop and rap and stuff, it was kind of like I love Busta Rhymes, DMX was like good. I wasn't always a big like Jay-Z fan, like any of that. So, but I knew like Kanye, but I remember seeing the Through the Wire video on it was a music video station called MTVU. It was like a college campus MTV. So all they did was play like music videos. And that's where I heard like Interpol for the first time, and It's like a lot of these bands that I still listen to today that I love, Cody and Cambria. Like these were all bands that I heard on MTVU and like saw their music videos, TV on the radio. Like these were, but Kanye was on there too, and it was like, man, this is different. I don't know if but like different, my honest opinion at first was I don't think I like this because like I didn't really through the wire. It just seemed so different to me. And then I heard Jesus Walks, and I was like, whoa, this dude's different. Like, there's something majorly different, you know? So, like, but again, it just, you know, you hear something like that, and then you wonder. But then as the years went by, he just started progressing, got bigger and bigger. But again, I kind of knew, but I did not know that, like, it's amazing to me that whole documentary, like, that guy just, it was like a vision of his 20-something years that he was like, yeah, we're just going to start filming you. Because I think something special is going to happen. And it's so wild that, like, it almost reminds you of, like, did you ever see the movie, I think it's called Boyhood or something? It was Richard Linklater directed, the guy did, like, Dazed and Confused. And I don't think so. He essentially used the same cast of people, and he filmed scenes with them, like, once a year. And it was like it was like a little boy and his family like growing up.
Why did I know Ethan Hawke? I had a feeling.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Patricia Arquette was the mom. And they filmed it over like a span, like he was a teenager. And then when the movie got released, like it was a crazy like generational story. Like it's a large undertaking.
That's pretty wild, yeah. And they see him see him develop.
Yeah, and you kind of like see like the story of like what happens with the parents.
Oh, Patricia Arquette.
Yep. Yeah, so it's like super like, you know, and that's Richard Linklater like takes a lot of chances as a director, you know, like he's done some, you know, when I think of like him, I think of Dazed and Confused, I think of that, I think of Scanner Darkly.
Linklater. Oh, I like Scanner Darkly.
You know, like, yeah, and that's a great novel too, so like, you know, it's a wild, like the way that movie was filmed too is crazy, but that's like, it was like a very large undertaking, you never know what you're going to have with it. Mm-hmm. And again, it was just, I don't know, man. Like that, yeah, like you said, it's very emotional. Like seeing his relationship with his mom.
That caught me,
like, man, that's right in my heart, dude. You know, like you never like. I think it was very intriguing. Like I think it was in I think it was in the second episode where he said, you know, I'm playing a character now, or you know what I mean.
He has to play up to this role.
He has to play up to this role. Yeah, but I mean, through like just seeing, it was crazy to see so many people shut the door on him.
That's what I connected with so much, is everyone's just like, shut the fuck up, make your beats, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's like, all you're ever gonna be.
And like, and the crazy part is like he made some killer beats.
Yeah,
but he literally
knew. But he made it for himself.
Listen, dude, my man kept the good ones in his back pocket, bro, because like. I mean, you hear when that beat hits on Jesus Walks, you're like, whoa, wow, right off the get, you know. And he was doing all this himself, you know, just making them up. Like,
I think that's what made him so lethal as a rapper and an artist, because he knows how to produce and create what he wants to create, so he can make an epic song.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole College Dropout album was just awesome, dude. I mean there were hit after hit on that, and I remember the New Workout Plan. I was walking around the yard for a hot minute listening to that today, and I was just like, man, it's just like, it's so sick, dude. He did bridge that gap between, you know, whatever you would like brick off as hip hop and hardcore rap, and I mean even pop to a certain standard. You know what I mean? Like he really, I still don't think you can really like classify him as anything but Kanye. You know what I mean? Like there's elements of everything there, but it's unlike anything, and it still is. I mean, you listen to some of those albums, maybe there's more stuff that tries to imitate it now, but I mean everything leading up through his like first, I lost track after like album 5, I think it was 5 or 6.
I mean, I don't even have that much of a knowledge of the discography.
Yeah, so I just know 808s and Heartbreaks is my favorite Kanye album, and I get shit on, people will shit on me for it, and I don't care. 808s and Heartbreaks was, I mean, Heartless is just
that's a good song.
A crazy song. Love Lockdown is a crazy song, and then the rest of the album is just so, it's just like, for me, I think it's weird because like watching that documentary, there's certain songs on it that because I think that this album came out is one of the albums that came out in that gap when Coodie wasn't around him for that 5-6 year span.
2008.
Yeah, so that was probably that's probably right around or after his mom passed, right? I think she passed. I don't. My peas are popping, man. I need to. No, you don't have to. I'm popping my peas. Right. There it is. I told you.
Turn it so the pop filter's facing you.
Oh yeah, I can't do that.
Just rotate it. It should just push over.
This one?
It's like really loose. Yeah. See. Yeah, really loose. Really.
Oh yeah. Okay. Is that better? Popping.
Yeah. Did you see how I turned the mic to you last time? So the line's this way.
No, I can't get close to it. What do you want?
Here, I'll give you. Turn it.
What do you want me to do now? Oh, I gotcha. Oh yeah, there it is. I'm back.
I gave you a little more gain too, so you
could. Oh yeah. No, I mean, where do you start with that documentary though? I'll be curious to see what goes down with it too, because there's a lot that went into that. That dude caught lightning in a bottle. But But again, going back to 808s and Heartbreaks, there's a song on there called "Welcome to Heartbreak." And one of the lines in it is my friend show me picture of his kids, and all I can show him is pictures of my cribs. He said his daughter got a brand new report card, and all I got are these brand new sports cars. And it almost feels like he's almost referencing Coodie and Coodie having a kid now, because Coodie had a kid around that same time, I think.
Yeah.
And knowing that he's missing out on aspects of his life to be doing what he's doing, and I think, and it's it's a really introspective album, and it was super different because it was more lyrical than it was rap. You know what I mean? I think that's where I don't know if T-Pain was a big part of that album. I can't remember. I think that's where it started. Or maybe auto-tune really started coming in with him. I think. But, it's 808s, and then a lot my Dark Twisted Fantasy afterwards was kind of for me, lyrical content is maybe his best. His beats were good and everything else. But everything after that, though, that's whenever I kind of started to fall off on him as an individual, you know what I mean? It was hard because you couldn't separate the music from the headlines and stuff, and and not as a super fan, because I know people would just die hard. I would have voted for Kanye when he voted for literal people I knew who would have been I would have voted for him, and I'm like,
I mean, I probably would at this point. After seeing that, I would. You hear that?
I mean, after seeing that,
yeah.
I mean, it's what we got right now.
Could it be any worse?
Yeah, right. That's neither here nor there. We ain't trying to
ruffle.
We're not trying to ruffle any feathers on that one. So, I mean, No, but, it is, though, I don't know, what did you think about it? Just in terms, what was the most intriguing factor of the whole thing about him? You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Then let me say, throughout the whole series, it always comes back to him being in the studio. And even when he's in the Dominican Republic in his present day state, he's got his dude there with the computer, 2 Bose speakers to simulate a rap, and he sits down and he fucking creates.
Yeah.
And he makes. And I think I don't know what it was, but it was he did something with Poo Poo. And it was boo boo.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think it was just a flex to be I could literally create shit.
Yeah.
Garbage. He has to have known that was, or that was silly.
There were so many times too, whenever they showed those moments of him just doing that.
Yeah.
And he was just smiling ear to ear and just looked like he was just in it and having fun. And then the minute it stopped, it was back to a frown face. It was he was just,
playing that character.
It wasn't even that, I don't think. I think it was just in that moment of creation was happy. And then the minute the creation stopped, he was just all right,
yeah,
what can I do? Because I'm now I'm back to this, and creating is where I'm feeling the most at. And if I could literally stay in this moment for hours, I would smile for 3 hours.
Right.
But I can't. So like when I drop out of it, I need to get back there. It's almost like it was probably like finding a drug for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was probably like a high
that
chasing that feeling over and over and constantly getting it and getting it and getting it. And you could see that through his whole career that was documented in there. Like,
yeah. That's what's so amazing is the whole thing is documented.
Yeah. Yep. It was wild seeing, like, I thought it was really cool seeing how the creation of Through the Wire came, like, the video itself. How it was like, they were like, yeah, we just thought it'd be cool to, like, record people's reactions to it because he knew he had something there.
Yeah.
You know, or at least, like, you know, he thought he did. And then when he started the first couple, I mean, Pharrell's reaction was just one of the best. He was just like, he didn't even hear it at first that he said, I did all this with a wire, like through the wire. And then whenever he come back, he was like, did you hear him say? He was like, yeah, we all heard it say. He said it at the beginning of the song. And he was like, oh, wow, you know, so. But I mean, I think too, I think he just, I think there's such a disconnect between that world and ours. And I'm not even talking about the world like making, I just think the world that he ended up finding himself in. Because I think that 6-year span that wasn't documented is a real big 6 years of some real weird things going on with him. You know, like it's, you know, and I'm not speaking any ill will, but like those are the years when he was literally side by side with Jay-Z. You know, like he did that entire album, him and Jay-Z, that I think it was a lot of songs that were on The Great Gatsby. Like it was like, you know, like No Church in the Wild was one of the songs. You know, I know there's another big hit on that. There's a TikTok about the one song on there where it's just like this dude's like asking Siri to play the song, but he doesn't want to say the word that starts the song. You know what I mean? He's just like, in Paris. And they're just like, we don't know what song you're talking about. And he doesn't want to say the beginning of the name of the song. But I mean, this man might not. No, there's probably a couple songs on there.
Jay-Z, Fergie, Q-Tip, Goon Rock, Beyonce, Andre 3000, Lana Del Rey.
Okay, yeah. So that wasn't all the. Okay, so there were a lot of songs from the Kanye and Jay-Z album on there. Yeah. But that wasn't the album itself. I knew there were a lot of songs from that.
Soundtrack.
Oh yeah, dude. There's I mean, yeah. You're searching through. You go Lana, and I mean, I used to hate Lana Del Rey.
will.i.am, Brian Ferry.
I used to hate Lana Del Rey, and then I fell in love with Lana Del Rey. Like,
I don't know why.
That's weird how music goes for you, but. Yeah, but I think that's whenever the Taylor Swift thing happened. Whenever he busted in on her, like, accepting the award for best MTV music video. Yeah. Come on. Like, like.
Well, he's so high. He's so high on his horse.
Dude, it's still, like, it puts that much stock in MTV, like, music awards, though. Like, granted, that's probably the only meeting he could have got away with that, and, like, he got shit all over anyway. But, I mean, but still, and it's funny, too, because, like, I think looking at the juxtaposition of his career and her career too, it's very much like, I mean, she's kind of done the same thing in the sense of like she started as one thing,
Taylor Swift?
Yeah, she was country music,
yeah,
and then she filtered into like pop, and then tried to change it up with Reputation, and then yeah, Swifties, I know,
he's a big Swiftie.
I'm a Swiftie, but like the albums, her last 2 albums were Folklore and Evermore were phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. But it's just funny, like, seeing the trajectory, because it was like, I think it was the idea that they was just like, oh yeah, they're just giving this pop princess her awards. And it's like, you're not really looking like, as an artist, I would have thought you would have saw her artistry. You know what I mean? And I don't think he did. I think he just saw her as the white girl who, everybody loved as a pop princess. I don't think if, like, say, let's just say it was Lady Gaga who was up there. Do you think he would have had the same reaction? Do you think he would have went after her? I think she resembles more him creatively in like choices that he makes for style and like the way his music videos come across. You know what I mean? So like, but would you have done that to her, or was it because it was, so it was a lot. But I think but I think that relationship with like Jay-Z and like all that money and all that power and all that respect, I think that was a big one, man. I think that's where he really started to kind of just go off and, but it's so hard because it's the undocumented part. All we have are what we saw on the news, you know,
Yeah,
and the public opinion that came along with it. And it was hard, but it's like, he's still making bangers though, bro. Like, he's still making really good music.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like,
and that's the thing about it. But I mean, I honestly, like, I didn't really listen to like anything. I didn't listen to, I think it was Life of Pablo, or like any of the other. I haven't listened to Donda. I haven't listened to the Sunday service stuff. Like, I've heard parts of it. And I don't know if it's because I know the guy makes sick beat, and just like listening and watching the documentary made me want to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it was just a matter of like, it was hard for me as just like this just, you know, common, normal, like 30-something-year-old dude to like be like, I want to listen to what this guy has to say, because I don't feel like I can resonate with what he's saying anymore. You know what I mean? Like, he spoke a lot of truths, especially to like what he grew up in, and like, it was just like, you know, growing up the son of an English teacher. You know what I mean? Like, all these things I didn't know. Like, I like totally see why he was the way that he was when it came down. He was like super smart, super talented, super
driven, determined.
Yeah, and his mom was
he had his mom behind
his
him.
mom was so grounding for him, dude.
Yeah,
so grounding.
I think that's really cool. He took her.
Yeah, like
where
that.
Where he went.
I love that they came back to the a giant doesn't see itself in a mirror quote.
Yeah,
Man,
heavy.
What a heavy like moment to catch on video. You know, like, such an accidental thing to see.
And I think even at that point, Jesus Walks wasn't even out.
No, I think that was right after the Def Comedy Jam, when he was still trying to, like, I think he was still trying to get the album like made. He had a lot of traction going.
Yeah.
And then
I love a good underdog story. And
yeah, dude, that's what he was. He really was, dude. Like, the fact, like, I mean, when you saw, like, I love that they were showing all like the different people that he was making beats for. And I didn't know any of them.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew some of them, but I was like the guy, like, he went out to California to make beats for when he got in the car. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I was like, what in the world is going on, man? Like, how could you listen to what he was doing and not be like, get this guy moving?
Yes.
You know, like,
that's what I don't understand, because you saw it on their face. They're like, yeah, dude, whatever.
Like, when he,
like, how could you say that after you just heard what he just did?
Yeah. Man, when he went into Rockefeller the first time, and he was playing, when he went from office to office, and people were literally just talking, like, girls were coming in, not even listening.
Get
I'm
Bethany in here. I gotta ask her what she wants for lunch.
Bro, I was just like, wow. Like, I mean, when he says people didn't take him seriously,
he ain't lying.
He fucking meant it, bro. Like, he meant it, man. Like, you know, they gave him cement shoes, dude. Like, I mean, it's
agreed.
Like,
that's a good point.
You know, like, they gave him the shoes and filled him up with cement and didn't want him moving that fast, because they were making money off of his beats. And when he started making his own beats and he started doing his own songs, that was going to take away the beats from everybody else. And I think, but again, I don't think they foresaw him becoming a constant, like, #1 Billboard album artist.
Kept pushing him down.
Yeah, like, I think they thought he was going to be good, but I don't think they saw the paycheck coming from him that they were going to get. You know, I think there were some people, like Mos Def, I think, was one of the people I've respected Mos Def for forever, dude.
He was on
in the world
Common.
of hip hop. Yeah, dude, Common, I have a lot of respect for.
Common.
Like, these guys are like dudes that have been around for a long time, and they, you know, Mos Def saw it immediately, and even him and the other guy couldn't get him signed at what was it, Raucous Records? Ruckus Records. You know, but it's just wild, man.
Excellent series. Definitely check it out on the Netflix.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Let's go ahead and take a quick break.
Jesus.
I'm going to go grab another beer skis. Okay. I'm not a big drinker, but you're making me drink.
Well, I got like half of this to go here.
All right, we'll put it back.
Maybe I'll chug it.
ASMR and go. Chug.
Oh, yeah, here.
No.